Welcome back to our discussion on rebuilding trust in relationships. Diving into some really genuine steps to heal relationships when trust has been broken.
I'm really excited to get into this. What do you see as the most common reasons for trust breaking down?
Well, trust gets damaged in different ways. It can be the small, unkept promises that slowly chip away at what you've built, or major betrayals like infidelity. It's like if you promise to be there and then you're not, that can really cause that feeling of being let down.
Right, and when you add in betrayal, that emotional damage is even deeper, isn't it?
Exactly. Betrayal really rattles the foundation. It leaves both parties feeling exposed and, vulnerable. Like the invisible thread tying you together simply frays or even snaps
Yeah.
altogether.
So, if trust is compromised, what's the first move to start patching things up?
The first step is to communicate openly. There's no room for lies. Even omissions that are meant to protect someone can cause more harm than good.
Right. Open communication. It sounds simple, but sometimes it feels really challenging, especially when emotions are high. What's the key there?
It's all about, being honest about how you feel and what you need without attacking the other person. For instance, instead of saying, "you never do this," you explain what you're feeling when a promise isn't kept.
That makes sense. And I guess that naturally leads to owning up to mistakes? How crucial is that in the healing process?
Absolutely. Owning your mistakes is step number 2. It isn't just about saying sorry, it's about a sincere apology that, acknowledges the impact of your actions. A non-apology like, "I'm sorry you feel that way," just doesn't cut it.
Yep. Sometimes admitting fault is really tough, though. It involves showing vulnerability, which not everyone is comfortable with.
True, it can be daunting. But when you truly own up to your missteps, it's like you're creating a safe space for honest dialogue. That step can be a game changer in rebuilding trust over time.
And then there's the idea of sharing hard truths a level after apologies. How do you see that as part of the journey?
Sharing those hard truths is step 3. It's about digging a little deeper, revealing those uncomfortable feelings instead of bottling them up. This openness, though challenging, lays bare what really needs to change so you can rebuild from a more authentic foundation.
Yeah, I see. And once you're exposing all these truths, forgiveness naturally comes into play, right?
Yes, forgiveness is absolutely step 4. It's crucial not just to forgive others, but also to forgive yourself. Think of it like cleaning out a messy closet. You have to get rid of the clutter to make space for something new.
That's a powerful analogy. But what about spending quality time together? Life gets so busy that sometimes, even if you want to rebuild trust, you just can't find the time.
That's step 5 right there. Investing in quality time. Even small, dedicated moments can rebuild that feeling of connection. It's like filling a jar with little marbles. Each kind act or shared moment adds up until you have something solid.
Right. And speaking of kind acts, the article mentioned simple gestures like sending a thoughtful text or surprising someone with a kind deed. How impactful are these?
Super impactful, really. Step 6 emphasizes that even small acts done consistently help rebuild the trust meter. It's like laying down tiny bricks that eventually create a sturdy wall of trust.
Understanding. Moving on, I know step 7 is about setting healthy boundaries. Can you explain why that matters so much?
Sure, setting boundaries is essential because it defines what's acceptable and what isn't. It helps preserve your individuality while allowing for closeness. Think of it like a garden. You need enough space for each plant to grow without choking the others while still creating a beautiful landscape.
Absolutely. And then there's that final step, seeking help from couples therapy or relationship coaching. Some might think that means their relationship is doomed, but that's not really the case, is it?
Not at all. Step 8 is about getting professional support. It's less about fixing something broken and more about proactive improvement. With the guidance of a therapist or coach, couples can learn conflict resolution strategies and practice new ways of communicating that really foster trust.
Exactly. It's interesting how these steps intersect, like, building both emotional skills and setting practical boundaries. Did you notice how the article also touches on past traumas affecting current trust issues?
Definitely. Unresolved past trauma can really cast a long shadow over present relationships. It's vital to become aware of these patterns because, unless you address them, they can make every new promise feel, well, insecure.
Now, wouldn't you agree that sometimes, though, if one person isn't willing to engage in this process, all these efforts can feel a bit one-sided?
That's a fair point. It does require mutual commitment. When one partner refuses to engage, it becomes essential to set even firmer boundaries and perhaps focus on individual healing. Sometimes, that might even mean seeking individual therapy.
Yeah. And on that note, it's also key to remember self-care and emotional regulation. Without that inner balance, you can't really support another person effectively.
Exactly. These steps don't guarantee a miracle overnight, but what they do is pave the way for a, more resilient and genuine connection. It's more like following a roadmap where every step, even the tough ones, eventually leads you to a healthier relationship.
Right on. It sounds like rebuilding trust is really a cumulative process. Each step supports the next, kind of like adding layers to a foundation.
Precisely. It's like building a puzzle piece by piece. You start with a core of honesty and vulnerability and keep adding pieces. Open communication, forgiveness, quality time, until the picture is whole again.
Yeah, and these principles aren't just for romantic relationships, are they? They sort of apply to friendships and even professional relationships too.
Absolutely. Trust is universal. Whether it's between partners, friends, or colleagues, those same core behaviors, like being honest, showing vulnerability, and celebrating small acts of kindness, can really transform how people connect.
Exactly. I also found it interesting how the discussion of communication goes deeper than just talking. It involves active listening, checking in, and sometimes just sharing a laugh together.
Yes, actions like actively listening, really hearing that person out, and engaging in shared moments of joy are priceless. It's like, when your partner takes the time for a simple conversation, it can sometimes speak volumes more than 1,000 words.
So, in summary, rebuilding trust is essentially a journey of self-improvement, mutual understanding, and intentional effort.
Exactly. It's a, sometimes messy but rewarding journey where each step, whether it's practicing forgiveness, spending quality time, or setting boundaries, lays the groundwork for a more authentic connection.
Right. And while these steps can't guarantee that every relationship will be perfectly restored, they certainly offer a strong framework for, trying to heal and move forward.
Absolutely. The process might not be linear, and sometimes you need extra help, like a trusted therapist or coach, to guide you on your way. That professional support can, really help make the healing process more manageable.
Exactly. It's about acknowledging that rebuilding trust takes time, dedication, and most importantly, mutual effort. Sometimes one person will be all in while the other might still be catching up emotionally.
Right. And in those cases, it's critical to maintain your own well-being and know your limits. Setting boundaries isn't just about protecting yourself. It's also about creating an environment where both people can, feel safe enough to grow.
True. So, even though the process might be long and at times challenging, embracing these steps can not only rebuild trust but also lead you to a healthier, more compassionate way of connecting.
Exactly. At the end of the day, investing in open communication, sincere apologies, forgiveness, shared quality time, small tokens of kindness, and healthy boundaries builds a solid foundation that benefits all relationships in our lives.
Right on. Well, that really gives us a lot to chew on. Thanks for walking through these intricate steps with me, and here's to all of us nurturing healthier, more resilient relationships.